Now at 4 on this Monday afternoon, a Bloomington man has pleaded guilty to raping his neighbor back in 2021.
Now, he is the same man charged with raping an IU student before her death a year later. Samantha Johnson is in Monroe County.
Eric Montgomery is already spending 36 years in prison. A jury found him guilty of rape after the death of 20-year-old IU student Avery McMillan. Police say she was found unresponsive inside Montgomery's Bloomington home in August 2022. The coroner ruled she died from a fentanyl overdose.
The quicker we can get somebody like that off the streets, the better. You know, the less likely they are to reoffend or make somebody else a victim in the meantime.
Police believe McMillan, however, wasn't Montgomery's first victim. During the investigation, his DNA was matched to another reported rape, this time in Ellettsville. A woman who was Montgomery's neighbor at the time told police he raped her almost exactly 1 year before McMillan's death. Investigators collected evidence.
All of that goes to Indiana State Police Lab, and there's only one of them, and they work for the entire state of Indiana, so they are overwhelmed with, stuff to examine.
Right now at the Indiana State House, House Bill 1413 hopes to get rid of a backlog of rape kits, hundreds of them just waiting to be tested. Something Allen says is crucial for local departments like Monroe County.
It can very much so make or break a case for us, especially if we already had a known suspect in mind. That can just, give us further evidence that we do have the right person.
Montgomery pleaded guilty to the 2021 rape just last week. He'll be back in front of a Monroe County judge for sentencing on March 27th. In Bloomington, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
Thanks, Samantha. And we're learning more about a deadly fire in Fayette County. The Connorsville Fire Department posted on Facebook about an apartment fire last night just before 6:30. Crews got inside and found one person dead. 5 people were also rescued through a second-story window. No word yet on the cause. The fire department says the Red Cross and local churches are stepping up to help others find a place to stay.
HSE School Superintendent Pat Mapes is responding to a big concern about the district's new open enrollment policy. So the issue here is capacity. As many as 5,000 new Hoosiers could move into the new Gatewood Lakes development in Noblesville over the next several years. The school district is also opening enrollment to other outside communities, and many parents want to know, is there enough space in HSE?
So currently, yes. I mean, our enrollment has dropped for the last 4 years, but we do have capacity. During the 25-26 school year, we'll look at a redistricting for the school district just for efficiency purposes, because we have some buildings that we have empty classrooms. And so we need to kind of move our students around to meet the needs of the facilities that we have. And at the same time as the district changes and the community changes, and as empty nesters decide to either downsize or sell their homes, there's always going to be an influctuation of where new students to the district come from. So we will constantly every year look at that, reassess it to make certain to serve the needs of the students.
So HSE plans to assess enrollment year to year, and then if they reach capacity, students who live in the district will get first priority.
And there is a beautiful day outside with these blue skies and a little sprinkle of clouds, just a few dots in the sky to make it interesting.
Yeah, it was chilly out there, but I'll tell you, Sean, it was just beautiful and still is.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare it to what we had yesterday, I think everything would be beautiful. And yeah, you're right. This morning, I mean, it was frosty cold as expected, but doesn't mean it makes it any less better. We had temperatures this morning that started out in the 20s. Likely going to be our coldest morning for a little while, but in true March fashion, when you get the sunshine, boom, you warm up rather quickly. We're pushing almost 50 degrees area wide right now thanks to this canopy of sun that we have. Just a few passing clouds, and in the next couple of hours, those are likely going to be out of the state. Got a great evening on tap here. It's just not 75 to near 80 degrees, but it is certainly nice. A lot better than yesterday. Not a ton of wind that we're dealing with here as we go through this evening. We're looking pretty good. We're at 49 with a dew point of 26. Wind shift to the south. That'll be key. Getting a little bit warmer than yesterday. Will be a lot warmer this time tomorrow. Mainly sunny. These temperatures, by the way, are pretty typical for this time of year as we peak in the mid-50s over the next couple of hours. I will tell you, out the door tomorrow morning, going into work, getting the kids to school, it will not be nearly as cold. We're going to be in the lower 40s. The wind, however, is going to be a little brisk and eventually becomes just breezy. But it's teaming up with sunshine tomorrow, and we're going to climb into the 70s for Tuesday. Arguably the best day of the week here. Certainly going to be the warmest. We got to time out some thunderstorm chances and some snowflake chances. Oh yes, in the 7-day we'll see in a few minutes.
Saved that for the last minute, didn't he?
Sorry.
Oh, ouch, Sean, ouch.
I was trying to hold in that sigh of exasperation. All right, and it is spring break for many families here in central Indiana, and many people are heading to warmer weather.
Of course they are. You know, we know a lot of them are flying to their destinations. We can fit in suitcases, by the way. We'd be happy to go with you. 13 News was at the airport this morning around 4:30 as travelers checked in their luggage. So here's what the line looked like for TSA security checks. Yeah, pretty crowded. You can see people backed up practically to the welcome sign. The airport has had about 30 delays today, most of those on the East Coast. We caught up with some Hoosiers today, headed down to the Sunshine State.
I think I was pretty shocked. I didn't think that there'd be this many people here, but luckily the staff has been cooperative and we've been able to get in pretty fast.
We're supposed to be leaving at 7:30 and now we're going to be leaving at 9:50, so cutting it a little close to make our cruise that we're catching down there.
Hopefully they made it. As always, airport officials recommend getting there early. Make sure you have plenty of time for any potential changes. You can also monitor your flights on the airline app as well.
And whether you're having a vacation or a staycation, valuable time will be spent with your kids and your family for spring break. But some families struggle with what to do with all that extra time. So should you let your kids rest and recharge with a schedule that's not very structured? Or would it be better to keep a similar schedule to the one you regularly follow? And how much academic work and learning should be incorporated into your spring break? Well, and we spoke to an IPS counselor who says balance is the key to getting the most out of spring break.
If your family has been on the go a lot, or perhaps you're needing that pick-me-up, you can kind of know how to be strategic going into the break, checking in with your kids, what's going to be important for them. Maybe there's those play dates that you haven't been able to get to yet, and maybe you want to keep enough structure and enough routine so that they feel that things are normal, yet think outside the box on where we can go around the city or even traveling to experience something new.
So this counselor I spoke to says letting your kids lead you in activities is a good way to keep learning going and add some adventure to your schedules if you end up choosing to stay nearby.